feel that our current government and our leadership right now is doing a lot to actually work on solving these issues?
Well, I think they make a lot of promises, right? But they're probably not working on solving them.
Trudeau? Absolutely not.
I don't think they have really a motive at all, to be honest. I think they just say things and don't do nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we're tackling the important issues when it comes to the cost of living. And then we have homeless people on the streets and the parks.
COVID seems to be sneaking back a bit, and that's terrible.
No, they're totally reactive and not proactive at all.
Yeah.
So it's just react, and then promise, and then don't deliver.
Sarah Stock for Rebel News. It's a beautiful evening. We're at the Toronto waterfront, and today we want to get a glimpse of how Canadians are feeling with the current state of things. 2 years ago, public trust in our institutions reached an all-time low, with the government of Canada reporting less than 1/3 of people were happy with the federal government and the media. So let's talk to some people today, find out, do they feel that the government is working to actively solve some of the issues that they're facing? Or are their efforts focused elsewhere, whether that be overseas issues or just lining their own pockets? What do you think is the biggest issue facing Canadians right now? Like, what do you think is the number one issue?
Cost of living, right? I think there's a lot of inflation. Yeah, I think that's one of the big reasons. Housing, obviously, is a pretty big problem.
All right, I'll go.
Okay.
Economy, interest rates are high, right? Number two, our politicians not doing much in terms of taking care of Canadians. Yes, they're reducing interest rates, but that's still not helping out, right? Young home buyers like myself and my lady, even though we have good income, we're working full time, still cannot afford a house or a down payment. What else? A bunch of stuff. Prices are high, groceries are going up. Interest rate, they say 3% inflation. It's not 3%. You buy chicken, I buy chicken. It's double the price in the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So a bunch of things. I'm not a politician to suggest as to what I can do, right? But I know what's wrong.
I feel like homelessness is a big issue that needs to be talked about.
Think so? Like,
Yeah.
and like the price of homes too? Or?
Yes, that's also a really big
Okay.
issue, and I think it's affecting everybody's living, especially downtown Toronto. So
Cost of living. Cost of living and inflation.
Let's just say feeling that you have a certain amount of freedom like you used to feel like you had. It would be nice that were to continue.
Lack of credibility of government.
Our leadership.
Think our leadership?
Mm-hmm.
What specifically about it? What would you like to see our leadership do differently?
Tell the truth.
High tax.
High taxes?
Yeah, too much tax.
What about you?
There's a lack of infrastructure. I don't think that there's enough housing. I don't think there's enough healthcare professionals in the country. I feel like that's really it. We don't have enough, and we have too many people.
Anything that has to do with the inflation.
Housing.
Definitely the price of rent. I don't know why it's that high. Yeah, it should not be that high.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, life is good. When you look at other parts of the world and see what's going on, I think we got it pretty good here.
you think
So the issues that we have here are small in comparison to, you know, what's happening in other places. So
Definitely the cost of living.
Political standing, maybe. You know, where we stand in the world compared to the United States and other countries seem to be making our decisions for us. You know, do we stand by American policies? Do we stand by foreign policies?
As I know, they're struggling with the increasing of the taxes. Also, it depends on the people if they're using public transportation. I know there are lots of issues with TTC. You know, in terms of immigrant, it's really hard to find a job now in Canada. Too many participants. Like for one single position, there's like 200 people. So,
Yeah. It's really hard.
in a matter of fact, like if you're a really good one, so you have like education, all this stuff, it doesn't matter at all. Like just too many people, they all want to work for less money, more hours, whatever. They won't just get hired. So it's getting hard.
Inflation.
Taxes. I think just the general state of the country right now needs to be fixed, obviously. And I think those are the main issues right now. I mean, the politics and what's going on.
Like the political leadership?
Yeah, exactly, the leadership. Trudeau's not great.
Justin Trudeau.
I don't know. I agree with this guy right here, 100%.
COVID seems to be sneaking back a bit, and that's terrible. and construction in downtown Toronto is unbelievable.
Just jobs.
I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not really too concerned about Canadian issues.
Oh, okay. You're not from here, or?
No, I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I just feel like it's better to focus on the positives than the negatives, so I don't really worry about the issues. I just worry about the solutions.
Do you feel that our current government and our leadership right now is doing a lot to actually work on solving these issues?
Well, I think they make a lot of promises, right? But they're probably not working on solving them.
Doing the total opposite, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Just more rules, dictatorship, and the citizens have lost their voice and what they want to do and decide what they want to do.
I think they could do better.
No, they're totally reactive and not proactive at all.
Yeah.
So it's just react, and then promise and then don't deliver.
Some of the issues are pretty good, but I think the problem is we don't really have a leadership who are honest. Like any of the leaders aren't really being honest with the people, so it's hard to know.
Trudeau? Absolutely not.
I think there's a lot of nuances to governing like a country this big and with this many like immigration policies and stuff like that. But I will say I don't think they're doing enough, and I think they're doing too much in terms of PR and not enough in terms of actually like solving the issues.
Well, at the present moment, I don't believe so. Many governments around the world are not addressing this issue in their respective countries. Right now, Canadian government is not doing so.
I'm not sure if it's everything.
You don't think so?
No.
Unfortunately, no. I don't agree that they're doing a great job. Yeah.
I think they could do more to stand out on their own instead of following American and, the bigger brothers, right?
Yeah, I don't think we're tackling the important issues when it comes to the cost of living. And then we have homeless people on the streets, in the parks, and I think there's a lot of issues that aren't being addressed.
Some of the people I talked to today didn't feel that way, though. They felt like things are a lot harder now than they used to be.
They are harder, but again, compare it to other places, it's not that bad.
I'm not sure. I don't have the knowledge to comment on that.
I don't think so, no. I think I'm an immigrant myself, right? But I don't like the immigration policy that are there right now. So I think our politicians are playing around doing a bunch of fancy stuff, but not really concentrating on what needs to be done, right? That's what I think. Ms. Freeland, our Minister of Finance, they just keep increasing the ceiling of the debt, right? They say, okay, you know what, let your kids figure it out and my kids figure it out. They're not going to figure it out, so they got to do something now. Take action, vote Conservative.
No comment on my end. Maya, go ahead. No political comment.
Okay.
I don't think they have really a motive at all, to be honest. I think they just say things and don't do nothing.
Where do you think their efforts are focused then if they're not working on solving our issues?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, I think they're working on solving global issues potentially, but maybe not focusing on Canadians.
Well, I gotta say, I'm from California originally, so it's a different game for me, and I have a bit of a different perspective. But pros and cons. I feel like Canada's a lot right, and that's why I'm here. But at the same time, it's about priorities.
I know they're giving a lot of money to Ukraine and to other countries. I don't really understand why the main focus isn't the people of Canada, the citizens, the permanent residences, but to bring in immigrants to fill in gaps that don't need to be filled. But that's just me anyway.
I'm kind of in agreement. I think that we're really divesting where we should be investing. The amount of community centers that have gone down in terms of what they offer, there's a lot of kids that are, disadvantaged because of that. I think that, their emphasis is just elsewhere. I think they're really focused on internationalism and kind of that liberal vibe, and I think we do need to lean a little bit more into nationalism, not to an extremist perspective. I'm not saying bring Trump here, but I do think that we need a little more of maybe a centrist government. I think the left has gone a bit too far.
The efforts are not focused on the most important issues, that's for sure. I feel like it's a lot on infrastructure and things of that nature, but I feel like rent and the cost of living is really important, so I think they should start putting their focus on that.
What do you think?
I think we don't really know where the focus is in terms of where all the funding is going. I think it's sort of like a blurry line for a lot of people. We actually don't know where it's going. We just know that issues are not being tackled, like the most important ones.
Well, we spoke to a lot of Canadians today, and it seems like most people are just concerned about the idea of the cost of living. It's really hard to afford to even just live in Canada right now. Just some fundamental issues like that, and housing as well, inflation. But after speaking with a lot of people, it doesn't seem like they have much trust in our leadership, that they're actually focused on tackling these issues. And when I asked why, I got a lot of responses like they're focused on international issues, they're focused on social justice issues, they just care about themselves, or they don't even know what the heck our politicians are even doing right now. For Rebel News, I'm Sarah Stock. If you'd like to support our on-the-ground independent journalism and get more coverage like this, talking to people in real life, please head over and make a donation to support our work at rebelfieldreports.com.